Dutch built a wall here to protect themselves from the Native Americans. Later, this was the site of New York's first slave market. In 2008, mishandling of subprime mortgages led to the biggest stock market crash since the Great Depression. This was when HONK NYC invited Titubanda from Rome to play on the steps of the New York Stock Exchange. Collect Pond was once the main source of fresh water on the island of Manhattan. In 1811, the pond was so polluted it was drained and filled in, creating a muddy, sinking neighborhood that became one of the worst slums in New York. In the early 1900s, the slum buildings were cleared and the courthouses of Foley Square were built. In 2020, HONK NYC paraded through Foley Square for the 4th Women's March against Donald Trump. Gardens were once rubble-strewn heaps. HONK NYC teams up with more gardens to celebrate and bring attention to this collectively created garden district of New York City.
Garden Parade is the perfect coming together of music from all over the world celebrating community gardens in the quest for permanence and justice.
always ends at Tompkins Square Park, where hundreds of people protesting gentrification clashed with police in 1988.
In the Valley of the Giants, between office buildings, tourist traps, and vestiges of brutalism and minimalism, HONK New York City brings its disruptive, joyful DIY spirit. Ah, Harlem conjures up the 1920s when Langston Hughes wrote about a dream deferred and Duke Ellington played the Cotton Club. In Harlem, the bands of HONK NYC march on the same streets as the legends of the past, but we also look ahead to inspiring the musicians of the future.
And our level of what we do is like just showing that music is a way that you can have fun. Music is a way that you can use as an outlet. When you practice at home, it'll do exactly what you want to do. And we try to install that into the kids.
The Shrine World Music Venue is one place where the rich cultural legacy of Harlem is honored and continued.
HONK NYC. Woo!